Good evening, everyone. Welcome you all for this today's session. Today, related to the research article writing, some of the additional informations we will be learning. First is authorships. In a research article, the authors are very important. Who are all the authors? Who uh, are the authors? The deciding thing is very, very important. Not at the end after your article is ready or when you are planning to submit your article, you should not decide. Whenever you start your collaborative work, you should decide who should be the first author, second author, third author, fourth author, fifth author, or whatever it may be. Many conflicts happens between the authors and so many research works, scientific findings been wasted. One major reason is initially the article a person maybe done some contributions and finally the article looks better because of his contributions. And earlier it is decided that he will be the fourth author. And now he may be thinking, I have done this much work. The major novelty is my findings only. Then I should be the third or second. Right? Authorships create a lot of problems too, but it's mostly the supervisor or the person who like managing this entire project has to discuss in the initial days during the project. Even we have collaborated with multiple projects, but initially, even in IITs, they discuss everything in the initial stage. Who is who is going to write? What is the responsibility of each and every authors? Different types of authorships: guest and gift authorship, honorary authorship. One second, I will just change this slide format. See, guest or gift authorships just randomly you just add them. I know a professor, he is also a faculty in a certain discipline, and his wife is a faculty from not from the same discipline, some other discipline. For example, if I do not tell the exact discipline, like a faculty maybe from mechanical engineering, uh, another faculty maybe from agricultural or some other related discipline, something like that. All right, okay, that is not related. Now, in all the research articles, you will see both names, both names. Uh, some research work, if you see their research article purely on that madam's research work only, this professor name will be at last. He will be not done any contribution mostly. Maybe they could have done some contributions. Okay, but if it is not done, then it's a gift. Honorary authorships. Some senior experts related to your discipline, they provide certain suggestions. If you see related to my research work, how my research work is started is a professor named Datta from IIT Delhi came to my previous institute for a kind of a peer review meeting related to a DST funded project. So the DST funding project meeting happened in the my earlier institutes. So he gave a presentations related to his research work, and he said it has a good opportunity about the device, and I will be retiring it. There are really limited number of researchers working in this area. So he put some suggestions. So my supervisor was inside the meeting, and later he said, uh, like this is the area which we can try to work. Then slowly it started. Okay, and then recently I met that professor in NIT Tiruchi during the conference. So I just said him that You just put the seed. So that next, like my master's work, then it got a funded project, then worked as a JRF, SRF, then so your small presentations that somehow asked my supervisor to do that research work, and then that take me to this how. So I said him like he's very happy. He's a like very like reputed faculty. Now after the initial presentations, my professors not connected with the that senior professor. My professor and we or me explored his research article and some of the international authors' research works, and we started doing it. Okay. Think if just a guidance from that supervisor or that senior professor, just a guidance. Maybe he's not able to collaborate and do certain part of your research article. Okay, but a senior guidance is there. Then you can give as a honorary authorship. I have seen some very senior professors are being as a honorary authorship in multiple articles. Paid authorship, you pay certain amount to some consultant. Now there is a trend that some consultants, what they do, they will ask to write research article, and after the writing part is completed, then they will say you reduce 5,000 rupees and you will add one author. Then with that one author, they will again get some authors 30,000, 40,000 that your name will be added in the article. Like already a business, now this is another business. So paid authorship, ghost authorships, academic writers. Academic writers be a part of your research article. Co-author, a person really work with you in the research work. Collaboration authorship is also good. I have seen some. I attended a conference in Chennai. There is a university. Um, they have a good material characterization facilities. So during the conference, so many of them were bringing their samples and other things. And somehow they are connected with multiple faculties in the research centers. So many of them brought the samples, and I asked like why you are bringing this and all. Everybody somehow linked with some faculty, and they are started working. Now the best thing is the material characterization, they do it for free, and the results, the write-ups about the characterization also will be written by these professors, and these content will be given to the researchers, and that faculty will be the author for that article. They are small collaborations, and they are doing. Most important thing here is because that conference more than 200 people came, and I think minimum 100 plus authors they brought the sample. So even through a conference, also not only coming and presenting and getting publications, that collaborations will help the researchers or that institute get more number of publications. Hyper authorships, more than 100 authors, more than 100 authors. The authorship, the numbers, other than first author and corresponding author, you may have any number of authors, but the academic performance indicators for other authors, the percentage is very less. Like 70% is for corresponding author, supervisor, mentor, and others, and for remaining authors, only 30%. This is a screenshot from shared by one institute. Similarly, every institute they have these kind of calculations for research article based on the author. If you are a corresponding author or a first author or a mentor, it's fine. Or it's not. Or the percentage is nearly 30%. And these all will help the certain institute or certain officials to evaluate the authors. Evaluate the authors. Authorship will be in all publications, starting from books, journals, theses, everywhere. But most of the articles, the research scholar, the research students will be the first author. Second author will be mostly the supervisors. Second author will be mostly supervisors. And one most important thing here is third, fourth, fifth also other contributors. Other contributors. Authorship helps the employer to check your academic performance. I have shared uh, a table, a previous slide, right? Based on that, you get some points. Based on the points, they're able to calculate if 100 people applied for two faculty positions. Based on these calculations, they'll be able to evaluate about the performance of each authors. And if any change of stream publication, that will harm your profile. Many researchers don't think, but that will harm their profile. Then order of authors should based on the contribution made towards the research work. Who is the first author, second author, third author, right? Always remember, each author should be the part of the research work. If somebody is not being a part, don't add them as a name. I showed some open access journals like MDPI. If you go to this MDPI, you can find many Indian authors. You can see many Indian authors article. The full article, the name, maybe the corresponding author name will be middle or last. That's not a thing. But all authors will be Indian. You can see by seeing the name itself, you can understand they are from uh, India. But only one author will be from New Zealand or some other country. Only one author or China. So only one author will be from. If you see the corresponding author, that author will be the corresponding author. The work will be done in Chennai, in some institute, some labs, day, night, 2 years, 3 years, the work done. And when you go for publications, there is a person in New Zealand. He is not knowing anything about this work, no contribution on this work, but as his institute is paying the open access fee, many Indian authors just adding these foreign author in their article as a corresponding author and submitting to open access journals and getting these discounts and publishing it. Now, publishing later stage, any queries related to that, any reviews related to that, who is the author, they will not get any response. Who is the corresponding author? Corresponding author is the person who take all the responsibility with the journals, and I am the corresponding author for most of my journals. Many of them went to my supervisor and said, don't allow him to be the corresponding author. He may not share these informations, but the trust that my supervisor had. So as I am the corresponding author, in the very young stage, if you see during my PhD itself, I have reviewed I think 67 or 80 articles during my PhD time. And in civil engineering, that much numbers where it's not a like to get reviews from multiple journals. It is not a easy task, basically. Corresponding author is the one who submits to the journal and submit the revisions before deadline. Corresponding author check the author guidelines. Every journal has some guidelines. Every journal has some guidelines. Corresponding author check those guidelines and ensure ethics. All the data should be available in the corresponding author. No fake, false information should be there in the articles. Check all reference are cited or not. If you have 20 citations, 20 reference, check all the 20 cited or not. Then production and proof. See, production editor or proof editor or copy editor, after your acceptance, these editors will take care of your manuscripts. So they should check all the references. Check all the references as well as the other part, the grammatical typos and all the things they used to check. The corresponding author is responsible for that also. During my, I think the PhD initial days, one article I submitted to one of the reputed journal. You will not believe I got somewhere around 100 plus comments from the production editor. 100 plus comments. But each and every comments made me to learn and not to make the mistakes again in my research article. And if you see that article went to 3 revisions it went. At the third revision, I come to know the editor is also one reviewer and he is the one providing comments again and again. After the article acceptance, I find who is the editor and I send him an email stating, "Thank you so much for making me to learn this content." So why I am sharing this information is these production and proof editors in the initial days, their comments are very important. Article, the reviewers, they check about your research work, the technical content of your research article. But the production and proof editors are the one check the alignments, typos and other stuffs. And check the article in original and not submitted or published in any other journals. And corresponding author should keep all the datas. First author, who is first author? The one who wrote the manuscript. And recently I saw one institute, some kind of, what is that? I think stipend, not some incentives is there only if they are a first author or something like that. So they are adding their students, not in the. So these are all depends. But the first author is the one who is writing this manuscript. Normally, that name should be there. And the first author must describe the methodology clearly and should have all the data. Obviously, other than other authors, the first author will spend more time than others. And in in-text citation also, the first author name alone will be there, right? In in-text citations, like Daniel ETL means you will know about this Daniel in multiple place. Who is not an author? No knowledge about the work, providing just fund. Recently, I talked to one scholar, said, with my master students, I am doing this work, right? So you can also see or hear limit similar things. Then lab helper, lab in charges, lab assistants or attenders or some housekeeping. Some people whoever is helping related to your test, they come and lift and do some certain manual task. Right? They are not authors. Okay, scientifically they have not communicated anything in your research articles. Related to authorship, some few informations there in uh, elsewhere publications. The main content here is if you need to change the author's list, you need to communicate to the editor, like a journal editor, before the article is accepted. If it is accepted, you cannot do any changes, right? And this should be the written thing. You should write a clear mail to the editors related to the change of order or removing any authors, anything you need to like changes in the authorships, you need to convey to the editor clearly. Largest authorships, 5,154 authors. How many of you explored this research article? Anybody here, you have explored this article? Anybody here explored this research article? Having 5,154 authors? So this is an article published in the year 2015. The till 9 pages you have article, from 9 to page number 33, fully the author's name. Whoever is contributing, they alone should be the authors. And the next most important topic for today's session is conflict of interest. Different way this conflict is to come, different ways. Because in academics, among researchers or professors, you will find lot of uh, like ego clashes or lot of things you can see obviously in multiple institute, different way you will get, right? Initially while starting, things will go well. Later, through multiple source, authors write the statement in research article. Even many research journals recently submitted one research article, and in that journal, we don't want to add in the research article. They have a option in online submission that yes, no. If you have any conflict, type yes. If yes, who is the author? If no, tell no, right? Then how this conflict through financial, personal, contractual, professional, somehow you will have a conflict. Obviously, you should remember that full transparency in your research is must. If you get some fund and you are working on that, you put those funding information in the research article. Funding information in the research article. These are certain forms because there are 60 plus journals are available. Different journals follow different way to collect the conflict of interest statement. Some journals similar forms, some journals in the online submissions. Some journals initially they don't ask, after the acceptance they ask all these details, right? So this is another from, I think this is from Springer, uh, like whether all the authors have participated in this research work and this manuscript is not submitted anywhere for review and the authors have no affiliation with any organization with direct every small details and the all and one more thing, recently one journal, we have a collaborator from an industry partner and his name with the industry email ID. So from the journal they were asking lot of queries. How come this person can be the author and all something like that? Then we said he's an industry partner, he's an industry collaborator, he's a doctorate. Later he working in industry. So to convey this, the journal it took us some time, right? Then this is another journal, International Committee of Medical Journal Editors. Right, you can make a tick or you can submit. Sorry, this is Springer one. So all these, the most important thing you will be seeing here is whether you have any conflict among the co-authors or not. And this content is also very important in many journals. Data availability statement. This is in one of my journal. I have just taken a common data from like earthquake engineering data. It's an El Centro. It's a previous uh, earthquake which is already occurred in US. So that data I have used for my analysis. Now I have added the data I have taken from this source. And most important thing is, if I took any public available data, I have to mention that details clearly here. Which means, if the data result anything belongs to me, it's fine. Other than that, whatever data I have taken from other source, I need to mention it clearly because most important thing is transparency is very important in research. Next, we are going for one of the important topic, which is images in journals or graphical abstract too. Anybody here frequently who like make it a good graphical abstract, something like that? Like are related to your discipline, most of the journals will have graphical abstracts. Please wait 1 second. So now we're going to learn about this graphical abstract. This graphical abstract is not for all the journals. Some journals, 1 second. Yeah. See, some journals, this is mandatory for many journals related to materials. Certain professional society, this is a very mandatory thing. Others also kindly you can have a look. It may not require for your research article, but when you prepare for your presentation and other things, this can be helpful. For better understanding about the research work in a very short time, these graphical abstract will be helpful. The first impression is very important. First impression is very, very important. Some researchers for sharing their research work in social media, they prepare a graphical abstract. As per elsewhere publishers, they have a guidelines that uh, the dimensions you can see in the next page. Here it is clearly mentioned. It's a single, concise, pictorial and visual summary of the main findings. Okay. So here you see that when you promote your research work in any social networks, this helps the readers to identify more quickly related to your research work. And this image should clearly represent the work described in your research article. And when you are submitting to journals, it is clearly mentioned graphical abstract should be submitted as a separate file in the submission system. There will be an option how to upload the figure, table, manuscript, and other option. Similarly, there will be an option in reputed journals, graphical abstract. You should click that option and you have to submit the graphical abstract. Then the resolution is 300 dpi, as well as the ratio is very important, 200 high as well as 500 wide. Sometimes it may be 2 inch to 5 inch or 2 feet to 5 feet, whatever it may be, but this is the scale. And try to use these for like fonts like Times New Roman, Arial, Courier, or symbol fonts, and make little bit the font should be larger. It should not be very small and all. And you can see here preferred file type is TIFF, EPS, PDF, or MS Office. And you can see here in this list JPEG is missing, PNG is missing. So preferably is TIFF. When you are saving any scheme from PPT or something else, there is an option TIFF, which is tag image file format. Try to use that file. Then in the specific heading, you need to upload it. I'm just showing some of the sample which is added in elsewhere publishers website related to this graphical abstract. Just check whether you are able to understand something about this image or not. Some image I am also not from that discipline. Just have a look. Something you at least a very limited thing also you are able to understand or not. These are some of the graphical abstracts shared in social network like Twitter and other networks. By seeing this image, you are able to understand or not. A person is doing an exercise, and when he is rest, how the glucose uptake is when he is doing exercise, how it's get increased. Right. This is a very simple. Similarly, related to your research work, if you are making a good graphical abstract, it will make the readers to understand your work better, a quick understanding about your work. See, this image, how many of you are able to understand? At least little bit you are able to understand like how they think and they made this kind of. There are some of the best tools for this uh, graphical abstract. BioRender. Obviously, pricings are little bit high for some of the tools. You will get good figures for immunology, microbiology, neuroscience, and all the branches related to medicine and other biology-based disciplines. So this is the pricing. Another tool is Mind the Graph. It is also used by many institute. They also they have a good infographic thing. This is another tool called Concept Draw, not only for graphical or infographics, it can be used for other certain analysis also. Many researchers from top institute in India, they prefer using this Inkscape. Anybody is using this Inkscape? It's a good tool, very small capacity for, if you download, it will very small capacity only. But most of the options available in Photoshops and other good editing tools that are available with this Inkscape. It's a good tool. You can download it and you can use it. By seeing this image, you will be able to understand that the height is 2 inch and width is 5 inch. In this manner only your graphical abstract should be created. Maybe 4 is to 4 inch to 10 inch, right? In that ratio, that's very important. Some journals, rarely I have seen in some journals it is in square, the image is in square. Some journals for cover image they take your images. Okay, that's different. They don't take graphical abstract or some unique images they will be taking from your thing. So in some journals, uh, having your image in the cover page is a great achievement kind of, right? Because the publisher has good number of images, but in that when he's picking your uh, abstract or some images, graphical abstract or some images, it's a great thing. Now this is a PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. If you are not only here, if you use any tools, the size is very important. This ratio size, okay. And if you like to draw about bacteria, there are different images category: transparent, white, blue, green, and other things, right? So I can select, and if it is a vector or a transparent, you will get different. So what I used to do sometimes, not recently, some 4 5 years before, for an example, I'll just tell you, if I need to draw about the bacteria, if I need to draw about the bacteria, I can do is in this image, you are seeing a lot of black and white images, right? In this image, I will pick one image and take this image to PowerPoint or any other tools. In that tools, I will try to draw above this and I will draw the line. And then I create my own image with slight modifications, some designs, because you can see this is a bacteria, but every bacteria is not same, right? Similarly, do a small modification and make a similarly some images I have created for my research articles. If you click that clip arts, you will get similar this kind of images, right? So now one most important topic we'll be seeing here is the image editing part. In PowerPoint itself, you can make a good images, and you can draw good images using PowerPoint. It is easy accessible. Everybody will be having in their thing. Sometimes when you make a schematic representation or some kind of information to your research article, try to create a good image, make a border, you make a good editing, right? And then you can, uh, because many researchers for image they don't spend much time. Sometimes they write even, but image is also very important to make the readers to understand your research work better. Because when I start reading any research article, I see all the graphs, images, tables, then abstract and conclusion. Then only I go through the body of the article. I don't know whether if anybody is following the similar method. I have seen many researchers follow this. Just see the images, tables and all. So image is very important for your research article. I'm just showing some sample image. You see the left one, no magnetic field, applied magnetic field. Can anyone say that is uh, drawn using which tool? The left one, no magnetic field, applied magnetic field. In PPT, the both images done in PPT, and this one is the authors. You can ask, sir, how you are making this in PPT and all. When I refer some literatures, they have good images than this to make their readers to understand better. So then obviously as an author, I used to think the design is different, the the material may be different, the fluid which I'm having inside this cylinder is different, the coil property is different, the piston dimensions is different. What I made it, I fabricated it based on the design. I have drafted this schematic representation with the dimensions and clearly mention all dimension are in centimeter to make the future authors or readers to or researchers to understand my research work better. I have gone through some of the quality articles and they had these types of schematic images of various research work. So I also learned how to draft or how to draw similar schematic images. When now I go through my article and see these kind of pictures, even I feel really happy. And I'm getting certain citations and getting certain informations. and I got certain postdocs even because of not through images, because of the work. Obviously, these authors will go through, they're giving postdoc for you related to similar work. Obviously, they will go through these research articles, right? And this is another image. A center, you can find an equipment connected with a device. Only the center middle device is there. Uh, some informations, the center equipment is not much visible. So as it is not much visible, so I just zoomed in and I have attached in the left side. See why you are writing the article? To communicate your findings to other researchers. If you are, these are all very small things. Why I am telling all small things? Because these small things will make your readers interesting and make them to understand your research work better. Not only them, also your the reviewers who is exploring your article, everybody, it will be helpful. And this one, can anyone say drawn using which tool? Yes, PPT. Now in this image I like to convey few information. This is a test setup in my lab, and it's a unique test setup. This is not a lab setup that some company is providing. We have attached with different equipments and we created a new test to find certain outcome. So it's an indigenous setup. So to make the readers to understand the setup well, just put the number nearby or above these equipments, starting from gas meter, MR fluid, thermometer, piston with coil, Hall probe, retard stand, power supply. Even 10th class students explore my article also, they will be understanding this content better. Because some young researchers initially when they go through or do research work related to our discipline, they may not understand anything. So your article should be to make the readers to understand better with not only the write-ups, with some images, charts, some infographics, good infographics to make the readers to know the steps, types, the workflow to make them understand better. These are all simple ones. And this is also simple. This is a kind of concrete image. So I take the concrete image and made it. And this is a steel rods, the schematic one. And this image I like. I think in some sessions, some presentation I have shown this. The best part is the bottom part. The bottom part is connections, right? So this is also in PowerPoint only. In PowerPoint. This is also PowerPoint. This is the collage. I just made it and made a border. So this is one which we did some experiments in our lab. Can anyone say this image is drawn using which tool? Sorry, this not image, this figure. This figure is plotted using which tool? So yesterday I drawn using Excel, so immediately everybody will say XLR. This is plotted using origin. This is plotted using origin. Origin is one best tool for plotting graphs, but these borders and all will not be proper. And sometimes if you see inside uh, uh, the color with that informations also may not be proper. So this image alone will be there perfectly. This image I have taken to the PowerPoint. Then sometimes I add the proper x-axis, y-axis titles and the inside what this line represents, and just put a border and then add this image in the article. While saving, I used to save using TIFF file, tag image file format, and I used to save it. See these small graphs, figures, image will make your article better. Not only writing. I have seen some articles fully write-ups, no image, no tables, no graphs, no. Try to add some important details to make the readers to understand better. Now I like to show some this is from Springer Nature. If you go to this communities.springer nature, they conduct the photo competitions. If you do an experimental study or you have a good materials, you do some different one, you can participate in these competition. You can send to photo competition at nature.com with your good images, and even that can win certain cash prizes. If we add some edit to the image, how about citations? Good. If it is your image, don't worry about you edit it and add it and all, not an issue. But please cite it the original source first thing. If you are taking others' image, don't try to edit it, try to use the same image. If you need to edit it or something else, don't edit others' image. You try to create the new image and try to edit, because if you are doing editing maybe through methodology or to certain extent, it may not be same. So better you create for your own. That will be better. I think it's completing in already it's completed. Next year again it will be started. Mostly March 10 they will publish, and you have to enter by March 28. So get ready. You have any good pictures? Go to this website communities.springernature.com and try to participate in this. So there's a vibrant community group. You can explore it. This website communities.springernature.com. Please, but I'm going to share you a few pictures which really I made it for a uh, 1 second. Hmm. I'm just showing few images, just not to show that I have made lot of stuff in PowerPoint, just to show you So many things are possible even using PowerPoint. And this you may like more. I said on unique test setup, right? That 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. So that concepts I made in a schematic manner. See everything how it's separately drafted. This is the digital thermometer. And similar digital thermometer, I took a image from Google, and above that I just drafted lines, this number and everything, the same color, just made it. Then I have deleted the original image. Then I did certain modifications, and that may be here somewhere very small, but looks like a digital thermometer, right? And 100% I will tell you, when you add these types of images in your article, this is not waste of time. Many authors think it's a waste of time. Why you need to spend time in adding this kind of pictures in my article? I condemn findings, discussions, inference. That is more than enough. No, no, no. And when you go for a conference or somewhere, you make a presentation with these kind of images to make the read like the like the listeners or the evaluators for your presentations, to make them understand better. These types of images will be helpful. I think two more images is there. With that, I will just wrap up once again. So I am from civil discipline. So this is the steel timber composite. Outside is steel, inside is timber, and some places inside is steel, outside is timber. So it's a research work. Uh, but the scheme is prepared using PowerPoint only. Actually, this is how the real one is. This is the real one, but this is the scheme one. Here, this is one image. Mm, yeah. So this is the picture from IIT Delhi. This is our the lab where I worked. This is in between. When I go for a summer faculty research fellow, we do some research work. We 3D print it and do some study. The pictures, not the right one, my picture, the other one. Whatever you research, you do take some good pictures, remove the backgrounds. For to the presentation level, try to prepare it, and same can be also used for our like content in the article also. And one more image, ultimately to make concepts understand. Because the image is very important. Like I know some researchers will not be much serious about those things. See, this is a mobile precast block manufacturing. For example, today your building became 50 years old. You need to demolish it. So this vehicle will come to your home. It will have a powerhouse. It will, as the demolition is started, this demolition content will be taken from this conveyor. It goes to the mechanical grinder, then crush it, and there is an automatic brick block manufacturing machine that will block it, and that will send out the blocks. And it will be kept in water or other different curing. And after 7 days, you can start using the same thing. which mean you don't want to, like when you want to construct when you want to uh, like purchase blocks in future for new constructions, you can use the same thing, which is a recycle one for your home. It's a simple idea, so just a concept to make to others to understand better. And one more images I'm just searching, please wait. Mm. So this is an equipment in IIT Delhi. So this is a schematic diagram of that equipment. So, so these are all small things to make the readers to understand the better. I'm just telling some common thing how this image. So I think one more image. I'm just searching. I'm just sharing. So this is a project related to offshore wind turbine. So we like to do a small testing in our labs. So that is set up schematic representations. And this is another one. And this is another design. You see, if these kind of equipments, how the testings were done, these kind of images were added in our research article, obviously it will make the readers to understand our test setup better. This image plus the real one. This image plus the real one. See, obviously you are all from different disciplines. Some discipline articles I have seen some infographics, some flowcharts, and mostly they will have tabulations and all. But some disciplines they will have good pictures, characterizations with and inside certain test results, the letters which is available that should be clear enough, because some journals they have two ISSN number, online ISSN and printed ISSN. When it go for a print, it should be clearly available. If it is online, at least you zoom it and you just zoom it and you can explore it. But if it is a printed version, some small letters may not be available. Better when it is available in a printed. But how the retraction is initiated, based on the complaint of the original authors or any other factors? Okay. See, article related to your research, only people are exploring your article, not others. First thing. Okay. Uh, if I'm exploring some, because frequently I go to Scopus and click my keywords and I check what are the recent article is getting published, and if any articles I'm able to download, I just download and explore. Recently, I found an article. I saw my graph slightly edited, and it's available in the article, but it's not a reputed indexed one. It's an unindexed journal. I have seen the authors that who is doing some PhD or something else. One author is some person like by seeing that image, if I am retracting, his life is gone. Simple. Some authors they take very seriously and they submit this information to the editors and editors remove it. The article is removing, obviously it removed from Scopus. So that's a problem for the authors. When I search related to my keywords, when I find that content. Now think similarly, you are exploring related to your discipline, you are searching articles, you are reading, sometimes you are reviewing an article. While you are reviewing, you find your graphs, your content, your informations, or some uh, you easily you will able to find whether this looks like an AI created content. So it may not, it may have plagiarism, or you have a doubt or something else. So that depends on maybe reviewers or any authors. Any authors can inform the editors. They can not retract directly. They can make a complaint or make an issue, inform these details. The editors will take a decisions. Graphical image creator. See, for presentation purpose, for preparing a graphical related image content to share about the flowcharts or infographics and all, nowadays AI tools are good. Can create good infographics in Canva and other tools. Even I think in Canva now many tools were added with this AI and all, so it's good. But for research article, I won't suggest you to use this AI based, because in future anyway there will be a tool will be developed to check whether your image is created using AI or not. At least in 2 years or 1 year it will be available. I think as of now image is not getting detected properly, that image content is. Sometimes you have an Excel graph, that Excel you copy and paste it, that letters, line, values will be generated, created and shown in plagiarism. But if it is an image file, it will be not shown as a plagiarism. Okay, but uh, even recently to make my students understand, I use some AI scheme and all. I did it, but not for research article. Research article, try to you put your ideas and create it. That will be better. Okay, but some authors I know, for certain parts, certain details, they use AI and they make some arrows, connections to teach the flow of their research work. They are having in some research article and they are publishing. As of today, I not hear their article is retracted. They are not finding any issues. But after some days, if uh, that may create an issue and that may retract or something else, why better try to avoid it. Okay. Free tools, Inkscape, you can use it. So thank you. Yeah. See, there are many other BioRender, then Concept Draw. There are many tools. Inkscape will be better. You make a 2 inch by 5 inch or 4 inch by 10 inch size. Then you add your information. Is there any new technology to construct houses with lead? Okay, new technology to construct houses with least cost. 3D printed houses are already available. Then precast. They have a mold. They will just come to your place. They keep this mold in all sides. They pour the concrete and it is done. You can connect with me. I will share because I have explored this recently only. I can share those informations. Thank you. Thank you all.